Hi everyone, my name is Arely. I'm a senior in mission track, and today I have the opportunity to interview Johnathon Day that went last year to Belize. How was that?
It was pretty interesting, and I actually enjoyed it.
That's pretty cool. What was the school like over there? What did you do?
So, it was a missionary training school called MOVE, which stands for Missionary Outreach Volunteer Evangelism. And it allows the students to experience what a missionary life is like while in training.
That sounds pretty cool and challenging. What were the vocational classes that you had over there?
So, the vocational classes are also known as electives there, and they include construction, health, mechanics, and education. So, when the student applies, they will choose one of these electives, and during their stay there, they will receive training in that elective, which they will use when they go out into another mission project.
Which one did you choose?
I chose construction.
Oh, that sounds cool. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. It opened up a whole bunch of new learning opportunities for me, and I also learned a lot.
What were some of the activities you had over there?
The activities that they would have would mostly consist of work contracts, which is what they call the jobs that they would have us do. So every Monday afternoon, we would go over to the library and they would divide us into 3 different groups, and each group would have a turn to go and pick a work contract to do. And it was mostly just jobs around the school, like weeding gardens, washing vehicles, cleaning the library sometimes, or classrooms and such. Just small little jobs that needed to be done.
That's nice. And we know that Belize is another country. What was the culture like over there?
The culture there is quite interesting. Like, here in America, it's like you walk down the street and maybe 1 or 2 people will want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
There, you walk down the street and it's like everyone wants to say hello to you, and they want to just talk with you for hours and
That sounds
a
nice.
long time, and it is interesting.
So what is the language that they use over there?
So they have 2 official languages, English and Spanish, and they also have a third language which a lot of the people use, and it's called Creole.
Was it easy for you? Hard? Do you speak that language now?
I don't speak it. A few of the people did try to talk to me in Creole, and it was very hard to understand it.
But you did got it at the end, right?
I learned how to decipher it, but I still can't speak it.
How it doesn't sound like? Is it really different as English?
Yeah, it's very different. Like, it's more Spanish accent
Or Spanish accent?
than English, but they mixed both languages together.
What kind of food did they have there? Was it the same of American food?
They did have quite a few American foods there, but they mostly have typical foods that you would find in, like, South America or Mexico, like rice, beans, fruits, breads, a few pastas, but the main foods that I saw there were rice, beans, and a lot of fruit, and tortillas.
What kind of things did you learn from that experience?
I learned construction. I learned evangelism skills, because one of the classes we would take was evangelism. And so every Wednesday evening and Sabbath, we would go in a different group than everyone else. So we were assigned a group at the beginning of the year, and we would go to a nearby village and have church and prayer meetings there. And we would also do Bible studies.
Nice.
And so I met quite a few people at church, and I also gave Bible studies to one man.
That's
And
nice.
it was actually quite fun.
English?
I did it in English, and Mr. Sutton, the principal, translated for me.
If there was something you could know before going there, what would it be?
Probably that the food was going to be a lot different than what I was expecting. Like, I figured it would be different, but it was
Really different.
really different, like culture shock different.
Mm.
And as they explained in one of the other classes, when you go to a new country, you get hit with a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like everything's new, you hardly know anybody, and it's like after
You don't
a
know
while
the language.
you don't know the language, and after a while you just want to go home. They described it as a pit. So it's like you start out like all excited, ready to go, you want to get there. You get there, and then after a while the culture shock hits, and it just sends you down. Like, you get homesick, you don't want to be there anymore, you just want to leave. And then after a while you will start to go back up, and it's like, okay, I want to be here, everything's great, I like it. And then you go home and it's the same exact thing. The culture shock. Once again, you just have to get used to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned about MOVE, right? That's the name of the school. How does that work?
So the way that it functions is it's a 9-month program. The students actually spend 3 months at the school itself,
Mm-hmm.
and then they choose a mission station to go to for 6 months. And so that can be just about anywhere in the world.
So
And
it's kind of like mission track here,
Mission
but
track.
over there.
Yeah, but it's a lot shorter than that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like each group, like they have 2 groups a year, February and August. So they call them generations.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was part of Generation 20, and there were 9 of us in total.
Nice. Is there something you want to tell to the next generation of missionaries?
There are actually quite a few things that I would say to you guys. First thing is, know the language. Like, that is the top most important thing. If you know the language, your stay will be a whole lot easier and everyone will want to be your friend. Second thing is, don't be like me and be a picky eater, because it is hard to find enough food in Belize or any other country if you're a really picky eater. And third thing, always make sure to keep your line open with God, because if you do that,
Mm-hmm.
everything will go perfect.
That's really nice. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for sharing your experience with us, and hopefully that inspires one of you guys to become a missionary too. Bye.
Bye, everybody.